On January 21st, 1937, one of the biggest and most devastating floods was recorded in Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky's history. We now call it the Great Flood of 1937. It took the lives of nearly 400 people, 1 million people went homeless, and caused $500 million in property damages, $11 billion in today's money. The waters crested at 82.5 feet and also affected Cincinnati, Jeffersonville, Louisville, Evansville, and a few other cities. Intense, continuous rain from late December 1936 through January 1937 occurred when warm, moist air collided with cold polar air. The massive volume of water, fueled by 13.5 inches of snow and heavy rain, broke through the Lawrenceburg, Indiana levee at the west end of the B&O Railroad. The force of the water annihilated entire sections of the town. Records indicate 365 houses were swept away, 300 were moved off foundations, and over 150 homes were damaged. Water reached the second floor of the Dearborn County Courthouse. The new Lawrenceburg High School, then under construction, appeared to be in the middle of a lake. President Franklin D. Roosevelt dispatched Works Progress Administration, WPA workers, and called for the Coast Guard to launch massive rescue operations. Indiana Governor Clifford Townsend declared martial law in Evansville and 25 other counties due to the catastrophic Ohio River flood, which submerged 2/3 of the city. The military, including the National Guard, took control to enforce evacuations, stop looting, and manage scarce resources. Residents were ordered to stay home, non-essential motor traffic was banned, and gas stations were forbidden from filling personal vehicles. Schools, churches, and businesses not involved in relief efforts were closed. The city was essentially under military rule to manage the crisis, with the Ohio River peaking at a record 54.6 feet on January 31, 1937. While some restrictions were lifted earlier, martial law officially ended on February 13, 1937. 100,000 people in Cincinnati were left homeless as the flood affected the city from January 18th to February 5th. The river reached its peak on January 26th at 79.9 feet, more than 25 feet higher than flood stage. 12 square miles of the city's area was flooded, the water supply was cut, and streetcar service was curtailed. The floodwaters inundated about 15% of Cincinnati, damaging homes, businesses, and critical infrastructure. Many residents faced shortages of essential supplies like water, electricity, and heat, exacerbating the hardships already faced during the Great Depression. The Great Flood also hit Coney Island and submerged most of it, causing pieces of carousel horses to float away, which were recovered as far downriver as Paducah, Kentucky, over 300 miles away. In Louisville, the water reached a height of 40 feet above flood stage, which resulted in almost 70% of the entire city being underwater. Approximately 175,000 residents were evacuated, but unfortunately, 90 people didn't make it. The water crested at 85 feet at McAlpine Lock. City water and light services were knocked out. Neighborhoods like Shippingport and The Point disappeared. Mayor Neville Miller utilized radio station WHAS for emergency send-a-boat messages to rescue stranded citizens. The flood occurred during the Great Depression, exacerbating the humanitarian crisis as residents faced the loss of homes and businesses. This is a picture taken by Margaret Bourke White that shows people lined up outside a flood relief agency. It is a powerful depiction of the gap between the propagandist representation of American life and the economic hardship faced by minorities and the poor. The 1937 flood is widely considered the worst in the Ohio River Valley's recorded history, leaving roughly 1 million people homeless across the region, and thousands of livestock and animals were lost. The scale of the 1937 flood was so unprecedented that civic and industrial groups lobbied national authorities to create a comprehensive plan for flood control. The plan involved creating more than 70 storage reservoirs to reduce Ohio River flood heights. Not fully completed by the Army Corps of Engineers until the early 1940s, the new facilities have drastically reduced flood damages since. The Great Flood of 1937 was one of the most devastating natural disasters to ever occur in the Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky states even to this day. Let's hope we never see another one. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe so you don't miss any future content.